Someone said you're interviewing a ton of high-level guests, but how do you keep connections with them? Do you follow up every couple months to say hello? I mean, obviously, you're not BFFs with all 800 guests you've had on the show. I don't think.
No, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, so surprisingly.
So for the ones that you do gel with or the ones you want to have a relationship with, like, how do you maintain those relationships?
Yeah, it's tough. Because sometimes you just don't vibe with the like they may have done a great job and you may have had decent rapport on the conversation, but then sometimes they have no desire to continue a relationship, or sometimes you just like, sometimes I get off an interview, I'm like, they were good, but like they're not my people.
And sometimes it's the ones that, like, going into it, I know you're going like, oh, I'm so excited to talk to this huge name.
Yeah.
And then I see you get off those calls and you're like, I did not like that person.
I was underwhelmed.
I did not like that experience. And then sometimes it's people where it's like, oh yeah, they've got like this smaller business. And then it's like, they do become like BFF. You know,
like they were super cool or whatever. Yeah. So I try to throw dinners, which is kind of a big hack for me. I know a friend of mine, Nick, does wrote a book about this and teaches, cocktail parties and networking at events and things like that. And I'm a big fan of doing that myself. So like once every like 3 to 5 months, I'll throw together a dinner and I'll invite out all of my past guests to that dinner, as well as like some investors in my company, some of our key clients in my business. And I put like all those people in a room together. And it's a really great way for me to re-engage with them. Some of them, I never even met them in person, but they'll come out to Vegas for an in-person dinner event. And it's like, they walk into the door, it's like a 40-person event that I invited everybody to. And I'm like, who's that? who's that person? Because we've met on Zoom like 3 years ago, but now they're randomly walking in and they get to meet other people in my network. It's a great way to like stay engaged with people, stay in front of people, and continue to add value. Because that's the thing, is like, you just need to build and maintain the relationships. And Harvey Mackay wrote a book a long time ago called Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty. And it's the same concept. It's like, I don't need or want anything from the people that I'm inviting out to these dinners for the most part. It's just a matter of continuing to stay involved, continuing to add value, continuing to be like, hey, look, I'm a valuable person to stay in contact with over the long haul. So I'll try to do stuff like that. Another kind of quick content hack, something that we do a lot something that we used to do a lot, and now we're going to be starting to do again with our new format of the show, is we do these mashup episodes where we pull clips from a bunch of past interviews, where, 3 to 5 people that we've had on the show in the past. And what it allows us to do is, first of all, it allows us to have a new episode release every week, but it's very topic central. So we'll say something like, real estate investing, and we'll go pull 5 or 6 guests from the past who talked about real estate investing. We clip them together into like one conglomerate mashup episode. What that allows us to do is, when that episode is released, we get to go back to all of those people that contributed to that episode and be like, hey, we're releasing more content with you in it. We get to tag them on social. We get to share it. And sometimes, those people, like one of our recent clips that we shared, Grant Cardone shared on his Instagram story, and it got a ton of views and a bunch of traffic. Same with Elena. But there's several things like that we'll try to do just to like get back into their world a little bit and be like, oh yeah, that was a good conversation that I have with Travis, and like, I'm sure there are some things that we could do to tighten up all that process, but those are a couple of things that we do to try to re-engage. It's like, let's throw some dinner events, let's bring some people out. Expenses are on me. I just want to re-engage and build solid relationships with great people. And then also the content thing is something that anybody can do. If you don't have the budget to throw a $5,000 or $10,000 dinner once a quarter or something like that, then just, do another episode release every week. You got to have some sort of a bank of episodes, obviously. Like if you only have 30 episodes, it's going to be difficult to pull clips from those and maintain that on a weekly basis moving forward. But yeah, that's been a great, not only does the audience really love it, but it does give us a chance to re-engage a lot of our past guests, which is great.